Present crises in Brazil-United States relations. Image relations between Brazil and the United States have historically been cooperative, but since 2024-2025, several political, economic, and geopolitical disputes have created tensions between the two countries. The main crises are explained below. 1. Trade tariffs and economic conflict. One of the biggest recent crises is a trade dispute over tariffs. In 2025, the United States imposed new tariffs on Brazilian imports, initially about 10% and later increasing up to 50% on some Brazilian goods. These tariffs affected Brazilian exports such as steel, coffee, meat, and other industrial products. The US government justified the tariffs by claiming trade imbalances and criticizing Brazil's domestic political actions. Brazil strongly opposed these measures. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva called the tariffs unacceptable pressure and threatened retaliatory tariffs on US goods. Brazil also considered filing complaints at the World Trade Organization (WTO). This economic dispute has damaged bilateral trade cooperation. Political dispute over Jair Bolsonaro. Another major crisis involves Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro faced legal charges in Brazil for allegedly attempting to overturn the 2022 election results. US political figures, including President Donald Trump, publicly criticized Brazil's judiciary and defended Bolsonaro. Brazilian authorities viewed this as foreign interference in their internal political process, which significantly increased diplomatic tensions. 3. Diplomatic dispute and sanctions. The crisis escalated when the United States took direct actions against Brazilian officials. The US government sanctioned Brazilian Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes under the Magnitsky Act. This was linked to Brazil's investigation of Bolsonaro and regulation of online misinformation. Brazil strongly protested this move and described it as an attack on Brazil's judicial independence. Number 4. Migration and deportation controversy. Another tension occurred over Brazilian migrants deported from the United States. In January 2025, a plane carrying 88 deported Brazilian migrants arrived in Manaus. Some deportees reportedly arrived handcuffed and shackled, which caused public outrage in Brazil. Brazilian officials criticized the US for inhumane treatment of migrants and raised the issue internationally. Number 5. Geopolitical rivalry. BRICS versus US influence. Brazil's foreign policy direction has also created strategic tension. Brazil is an active member of BRICS. In 2025, Brazil hosted the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro, promoting stronger cooperation among Global South countries. Some US policymakers see BRICS initiatives, such as reducing dependence on the US dollar, as a challenge to American global influence. This has added geopolitical competition to the bilateral relationship. Number 6. Technology and free speech disputes. There have also been disagreements over regulation of social media platforms. Brazil's Supreme Court ordered restrictions on some accounts spreading misinformation and temporarily blocked the platform X, Twitter. Critics in the United States argued this violated free speech principles, increasing political friction. Number 7. Climate policy differences. The two countries also differ on climate and energy policies. Brazil under Lula strongly promotes environmental protection and global climate cooperation. Some US policy positions have favored expanding fossil fuel production, creating disagreements during international climate negotiations. Summary of the main crises. The present tensions between Brazil and the United States mainly include 1. Trade war and tariff disputes. 2. Political conflict over Jair Bolsonaro's trial. 3. Diplomatic tensions and sanctions on Brazilian officials. 4. Controversy over deportation of Brazilian migrants. 5. Geopolitical competition related to BRICS. 6. Disputes over social media regulation and free speech. 7. Differences in climate and global governance policies. If you want, I can also explain another important topic that often comes next in this analysis.